Our vegetable in chief, our so-called President Tombstone Biden, has committed confirmable 15 lies in just 17 minutes. That's nearly a lie a minute in a recent CNN interview. And the New York Post has posted and aggregated them all. And I just wanted to go over these. And this is not just to kind of ridicule the president. There's enough fodder there to ridicule him for, the end of time. But what I'm really, the whole purpose of this video is that, number one, people don't use their critical thinking skills. People believe what their base, quote unquote, or what they think they should understand, or what these former presidents have told them. And I'm alluding to a specific former president, our divider in chief, the mastermind behind all of the chaos that's been sowed and reaped in our country lately. And that is President Obama. I'm going to play for you something that, to me, is the most telling of this entire platform for the woke left mind virus mafia. But first, let's go through each one of these lies that are actually factually confirmable. So, lie number one, President Vegetable in Chief says, I've created over 15 million jobs since I've been president. He says this a lot. This is one of his biggest falsehoods. He tells it over and over and over again, no matter how many times he's been fact-checked, no matter how many times he's been called out. But do you think that MSNBC and Joe Scarborough and Don Lemon and all these people are going to call him out on it? Of course not. You think Whoopi Goldberg, probably the biggest virus on broadcasting network television, The View, you think they're going to call him out on it? Joy Behar? Oh, I can't just even saying their names. I get an actual physical reaction, Nez Nation. He took office at the tail end of the pandemic that blew an absolute bomb on the entire economy. And by the way, all these lockdown policies were wholeheartedly endorsed by Democrats. And people were taken out of the office and onto the COVID stimulus checks. He actually created nothing. After the introduction of the vaccine, people returned to the workforce. It's as simple as that. If anything, his policies slowed the recovery. It took until July 2022 for the U.S. economy to regain all the jobs it lost due to the pandemic. It should have been a lot faster than that. So that's lie number one. Lie number two. He says, other than Herbert Hoover, Donald Trump is the only president who has lost more jobs than he created. That's a bold-faced lie. There's no facts to support this. Trump didn't, quote, lose jobs. He was president during a global pandemic, which we're finding out now. Not only are we finding out that there's a whole lot of scrutiny and malfeasance that was done with the manufacturing and promotion of these vaccines, but people were on government checks and the world was shut down during COVID. The job market would have been the exact same in 2020 under any president, whether it's Republican, Democrat, or whoever. Lie number three, our vegetable in chief told CNN, quote, look at what he's going to do if he gets elected. He's going to do away with what I've done on Medicare, reducing the price of Medicare. There's literally no basis for this. Trump said he will never do anything like that or jeopardize Social Security or Medicare. That's just a made-up, bold-faced lie, period. Number four, we have 1,000 billionaires in America, he told Aaron Burnett on CNN. You know what their average federal tax is? 8.3%. If you fact check that, the top 0.1% of earners with more than 4.4 million in expanded cash and income pay an average of 25.1% in federal income and payroll taxes. And don't even get me started on taxes. Don't even get me started. My blood just starts to absolutely boil when I think of this. Let's move on. Lie number five. We've already turned around the economy, he tells CNN. Actually, Burnett pushed back on this a little bit. I got to give her some credit, noting that the cost of buying a home had doubled. Real income, when you account for inflation, is actually down since the Tombstone Biden took office. Biden's response, he just denied it. Of course, he just denied it. Probably he didn't have that in his notes. He probably didn't expect her to even say that, because nothing he says isn't premeditated, preordained by the Obama-Clinton consortium. There's not, which is why the clip I'm going to share with you of what the divider-in-chief Obama says is absolutely emblematic of what's happening here. Lie number 6, the polling data has all been wrong, he told CNN. Every survey that says people are upset about the economy, every poll that puts Biden's approval rating at historical lows, they're all of them from dozens of resources. They're all wrong. That's just not true. He's saying they're all wrong. All the polls about his approval rating, all the polls about people are upset about the economy. This guy's out of depth, out of touch. You, I'm sure, I know I can vouch for this, Nez Nation. Let me know in the comments. Are all the polls wrong according to you? Lie number 7, there's corporate greed out there, and it's got to be dealt with. Labor costs have increased 4.2%. They've increased 5.1% from 21 to 22. The cost of everything, to supplies, to shipping, rent, and taxes, have all gone up. It has nothing to do with corporate greed. Lie number 8, my favorite. This is my favorite lie because it is the most bold-faced, egregious lie, and I've got a beautiful clip that I have to share with you on lie number 8. It's just so magnifique in its essence and nuance and its execution and the musicality of this lie. It is just so repulsive that I have to play this.
No president's had the run we've had in terms of creating jobs and bringing down inflation. It was 9% when I came to office. 9%. But look,
that's right, 9%. Where in the world did you get that number, you shuffling, mumbling, stumbling excuse, you sack of potatoes? You are an absolute degradation to our country. You are an abomination through and through. When he came into office, the actual number that inflation was at was 1.4% in January of 2021. 9%. Lie number 9, which is just even gets me even more angry. They have the money to spend, he says. It angers them and it angers me that they have to spend more. They have the money to spend? Do you have money to spend, Nez Nation? Because I know I don't. According to Bankrate, 76% of adults making less than $50,000 a year are living paycheck to paycheck, an increase from 71% before that, you knucklehead. Lie number 10. Civilians have been killed in Gaza as a consequence of those bombs and other ways in which they go after population centers. It's liable to suggest that Israel is deliberating targeting population centers. Hamas embeds itself in other civilian population, creating bases inside hospitals and digging tunnels under residential apartments. Israel has been warning the people of Rafah for more than a week to move to a safe zone outside the city. We do not go after population centers. Lie number 11. We're not walking away from Israel's security. We're walking away from Israel's ability to wage war in those areas. But defeating Hamas is kind of essential to Israel's security. They didn't invade. Remember who invaded on October 7th. I'm not a fan of any kind of war. I'm not a fan of any kind of attacking. I'm not a fan of innocent people dying, but he's just lying. It's just bold-faced lies. Lie number 12. It makes no sense, in my view, to engage in thinking in Iraq they have a nuclear weapon. Biden brought this up, saying he warned Bibi not to make the mistakes we made in Afghanistan and Iraq. Except Biden voted in favor of invading Iraq. What do you know about that? So Biden may regret the decision today, but it made sense to him back then, didn't it, Tombstone in Chief? Lie number 13. You can't only love your country when you win. Somebody better tell all these celebrities and elites at these Democratic Party who claim they're going to move if Trump gets reelected, or say they don't know their country anymore, or who burn American flags when they rally for Hamas. Lie number 14. I travel around the world, he says. Other world leaders know what they say. Other leaders know what they all say. 80% of them, you gotta win. My democracy is at stake. Are world leaders really pulling for Biden? I don't get the sense. If anything, the real true feeling of global perception and the ethos of America, as Kevin O'Leary has said, the brand of America has dwindled. I truly believe that Vladimir Putin would not have invaded Ukraine if Trump was in office, that you wouldn't see the brazenness of Iran, you wouldn't see the brazenness of Hamas, you wouldn't see, I think if anything, World leaders are laughing at us more than they ever have in the history of America. I think, and that's a real problem. Lie number 15. Trump is going to put a 10% tax that's going to increase average Americans' cost $1,500 a year. Trump never said anything like that. He proposed no such tax. Perhaps he means a tariff plan on imported goods of 10%, which is actually going to help, and it's not going to cost Americans more money. And by the way, you know who else is considering imposing tariffs? Tombstone and Teeth. Just this week, he said Biden looks to thwart surge of Chinese imports. He told the New York Times that. Oh, you've got 15 bold-faced lies in a 17-minute interview. Again, nearly a lie a minute. And this is the party of facts. This is the party that claims the other guy lies. The other guy is crooked. The other guy is narcissistic. This entire party doesn't care about America. This entire party has turned their back. This party invents things, fantasies, conspiracies. The hypocrisy, Nez Nation, is absolutely mind-blowing. Everything they have claimed against the other side, everything they have said about the former president is literally a mirror and bounce back and reflects exactly who these people are inside. You've got our vegetable in chief, our so-called president right now, bold-faced lying, and actually in some instances being called out by the state media that supports him because it was just so profoundly egregious. And Trump is the one who makes up things. And Trump is the crazy one. And Trump is the conspiracy perpetuator. And Trump is the fanatical one. These are only the lies that have recently been confirmed. All his 4 years of presidency, all the 8 years of the divider-in-chief, President Obama's presidency. You don't have to tell me about Bill Clinton. We already know about Bill Clinton. We already know all his egregious lies. But the list goes on and on. Pelosi, Shifty Schiff, Chuck, I only care about Ukraine, Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, these complete treasonous villains waving Ukrainian flags in the Chamber of Congress. This is the party of hypocrisy. I know them, Nez Nation. I have met with them. I have worked alongside them, not just in higher education. I've been commissioned through these universities to work with this swamp vermin in Washington. I know all about them. I know how they think. It is House of Cards through and through. There's a really good reason why Frank Underwood, one of the best series in television history, in my opinion. It's really sad what's happened to Kevin Spacey. Let me know if you've seen the series. If you haven't, you need to watch it. There's a really good reason why Frank Underwood, the character played by the great Kevin Spacey in the show, was not a Republican, but a Democrat. There's a really good reason. That show has more true-to-life relativity than I don't think anybody has ever possibly even imagined. And we're seeing it right now in full Technicolor. Oh, but this is the party of facts. We don't make stuff up. Listen to what the divider-in-chief says right here. Given all the lies that we just confirmed from vegetable-in-chief, listen to this.
Recognize conservative thought or, it isn't respectful to, some traditional values that they care about and so forth. The difference, though, is, and Jason touched on it, there's a difference between facts and opinions.
Yeah.
And the one thing that our side still pretty much sticks to is the facts. You may not agree with whatever's in the New York Times or whatever's on MSNBC, but generally they're not going to just make stuff up.
No. Correct.
I throw this off to you, Nez Nation. I would love to hear what you guys think. Please, I beg you. This is the part where your participation really, really is going to come in handy and actually prove to be useful. Instead of just watching this and agreeing with this or disagreeing with this, share this video with everybody you know. Because people actually listen to this podcast that the divider-in-chief Obama was on. People actually watch CNN. I know it's hard to believe, but people actually watch it and believe it. We need to share this video out. You need to tap the thumbs up. It doesn't cost you anything. It takes a nanosecond. Tap the thumbs up. Why? Because when you share and tap the thumbs up, it sends signals to these platforms to build a broader reach. And what happens is YouTube and other platforms, they push these videos out to more people. This is about getting our country back. This is about raising awareness. This is about letting people know the truth, letting the voter know. We are less than 6 months away from the most consequential election of our lives. We need to wake people up. This video has the potential to do that. All it takes is a spark to cause and start an inferno of an awakening. That's what I want. That's literally what my mantra of this channel is. I want to cause an inferno of awakening. Once you have the truth, you have the freedom to do whatever you want with it. But at least know what's happening. At least know the truth. So please do that. And as always, consider becoming a member. Members get top priority, exclusive access to our members-only Discord, a badge next to your name, shout-outs and live streams, first priority in comments. Super chats and super thanks are very, very much so appreciated. I got something free for you, too. Become a Nez Nation Insider. That's our free newsletter. You can subscribe to that easy. All you got to do is click the link in the pinned comment, description, and show notes. Click on the option for free newsletter, give us your best email, and boom, you're in. We don't spam, we don't share. That's not the Nez Nation way. Become a Nez Nation Insider, and so you get all of these amazing, truthful, objective videos, live streams, news, top stories, current events that mainstream media doesn't cover right to your inbox. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right now, especially this one I just published recently. It's amazing. As always, God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.